Okay, let me share my screen and we will get started today. So it's going to be very similar to yesterday, where I'll do 3 examples. So there'll be 3 different examples of how you might see the elimination method happening. And then we'll practice and we'll be out, and that's it. So your homework for tonight then, it's going to be a review of everything that would be on the quiz for tomorrow. So it won't be just some elimination, but I still think there's only about 10 questions. Also, when you look on the homework, there's 2 pieces to it, because I found a new program on graphing that hopefully is a little bit easier, where the dots aren't going to hide on you. I know some of you are having problems with the points hiding and you couldn't figure it out. So hopefully it's called Google Draw, and it should be easier for you to graph. So you'll have your graphing piece and the regular piece. So just make sure you see that. Okay, so today's elimination, which is pretty similar to substitution in that you're still looking. So reminders on what we're trying to do here is we are still looking to find out what is, or where are the 2 lines intersecting. That is our main goal right here. We're still looking for that. So we're still looking for our x comma y as our answer. So the difference here, remember in substitution yesterday, we wanted to have one of the variables by themselves. We don't want that. For elimination, we want the x's, the y's, and the equal sign to be lined up. So if you look at the example down here, you can see that the y's are lined up, the x's are lined up together, and the equal sign is lined up. So we want that to happen, and then we know that the elimination method is probably easier to do for this problem. So this one, actually, we're going to skip the first step here on this one, because the whole point of elimination, like if you heard the word eliminate, you would think I'm going to get rid of it. So eliminate means to get rid of it, get it out of here. And so the whole point here is that we're looking to add up and down. So for example, this probably looks familiar to you. If I were to place this big plus sign right here and make this a huge addition problem, and I were to add up and down, if I were to add 2y and 5y together, I would get 7y. Well, look what happens when I add the positive 7x and the negative 7x. Those cancel or eliminate, and that's what I'm trying to make happen. So if you have a problem where that happens automatically, then you get to skip step 1 up here, because it already cancels. Yay, we can just keep it moving. So that is the first step here, is if they can cancel right away, cancel those bad boys. And now you're just going to add up and down. So 2y and 5y gives you a 7y. Those went away. And then drop your equal sign down. And then negative 5 plus 12 gives you a 7. And then you solve for y, so divide by 7. And then y equals 1. Okay, so this is like the easiest. So we're going to do an easy, medium, and then a more difficult elimination problem. So now the last step here is, don't forget, we still got to find x. So we're not done with x. We need to go back and figure what that is. You can plug it into either one. It doesn't matter. You'll still get the same answer. I'll just put it back into the top one. So if I put that in there, I'm going to get 2 times 1, put that in for y, plus 7x equals negative 5. So this one you have to do a little bit more work than the substitution, unfortunately. Okay, 2 times 1 is just 2, so I'm going to subtract the 2 to solve for my x. So I have 7x equals negative 7, and then x will equal negative 1 once I divide by 7. So the coordinate point, x is 1 and y, or yeah, x is negative 1 and y is 1. My final answer where they intersect is negative 1 comma 1. And that is the most basic elimination. And I'll show you ones where they don't eliminate quite as easily, but we want to try to make something happen. Okay. How are we doing? We ready for the next one? You need a couple minutes. Okay, Denham, good. I see a thumbs up. She's with us. Good. Okay. All right, let's move on to the next one then. Come on. Of course, now my computer is freezing. Come on. There we go. All right, so let me clear these. All right, so we got two more. And it's not that these are like too much more difficult, but we have to do a little more work. So just to show you for number 2, so we have x plus y equals 3, and then 2x minus 3y equals 16. So just to show you this one, if I were to put a big plus sign here and try to add these up like I did the last time, I don't have a variable that's going to cancel. So if I were to add these together, x plus 2x, that's not going to cancel. And the y minus 3y is still not going to cancel. So what I want to do is I want to think to myself, how could I make one of those cancel? You don't have to make both, but just try to look at one of them and commit to it. So either we could force the x's to cancel, or we could force the y's to cancel. It doesn't matter. Anyone have a preference, x or y? Does anyone see like, ooh, I know what we could do to make this cancel? Anyone remember? Ooh, I see. Ooh, hold on, Trini is with us now, yay. Anyone remember at all? Oh, I see someone. Hold on. Hey, there you go, good. Okay, Deasia just said we could multiply by 3. So there's 2 ways we could do this. So one of the things that we could think about is if I had a 3 in front of this y, it would cancel. And that's good. That's one thing that could happen. So if that's what you want to do, you would have to then multiply the entire line by 3. We can't just shove a 3 in front of one of those variables. We have to do it for all of it. So if that's what we want to do, let me undo that. We could just multiply this whole thing by 3. Let me erase this guy. Okay, if we do that, then I have a new line. So my new line will be 3x plus 3y equals 9. So that's the biggest mistake I see, is just make sure that if that's what you want to do is change that to a 3, you got to change everything on that line. Remember, an equation is like a balance, and you can't like add 2 to one side and not add 2 to the other. So the same thing here. You can't just multiply by 3 to one of them. You have to multiply by 3 to everything. So now we can do our big plus sign. These are going to cancel. Okay, Chloe, thank you. Okay, these are going to cancel. And now 3x plus 2x is going to give me a 5x. And then 9 plus 16 is going to give me 25. So then x will be 5. Okay, then it does not matter which equation you put it back into. I'm going to put it back into, you can actually put it back into the original one up here. This one seems like the least amount of work. So I'm going to go ahead and put my 5 into that equation. You can put it into the bottom one. You could even put it into the new one you made. It's not going to matter. They're all the same. So if I put that back in there, I'm going to get 5 plus y equals 3. I'll subtract my 5, and I'll get y equals -2. And we're good. So our intersection point will be 5, -2. Okay. Now, if anyone saw this, you could have also, I'm just going to go back and erase this real quick. So there is another thing you could do back at the original equation, just to show you options. That if you didn't notice the y's, we could cancel the x's out instead if you want to.